Hi, Sagittarius. Excuse me. My voice, though. So anyway, I'm gonna jump right into it. Here to do your reading. I'm actually a little bit jumbled. Maybe you guys are feeling jumbled. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of a new feeling for me. I didn't feel like this like 2 seconds ago. I just need to fix these because I accidentally put these in the wrong way. Sagittarius, I feel like you guys are really getting triggered. There's a triggering energy that's surrounding you guys. I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who is triggering certain emotions and feelings in you that kind of goes along with the reading Leo, where there's like an underlying emotion that needs to be addressed. So right off the bat, you guys are juggling way too many things, and it could be emotionally, it could be mentally, it could be work, like physically, like you're just working so much that you're not giving yourself enough adequate time. And there's somebody who's around you who I would just be very careful of, because they don't, it's not that they don't want to see you succeed, but it's like, just be careful. Like, this person, like, they see that you have a lot going on, but like they're not really, it's like a fair weather friend, like, is really what it comes down to. Like, when this person needs something, that's when they seem to kind of come back around every once in a while. But I don't really feel anything like super negative, but just be careful. I think this is interesting that this came out in reversed. There's something that you're not listening to. It's like your intuition, like you're keeping yourself so busy that you're not paying attention to something that's like, it's an alarm that's like going off in your mind. Like, there's something that you need to like have a breakthrough with. There's something that's trying to come to the surface that your intuition's telling you about. And it could be all these emotions. Yeah, there's a stagnant energy that's around you right now. And I feel like it has to do with like you letting go of something. But like you might feel guilty about something, and that's why you might keep yourself so busy, because there's something that you might be like trying to avoid or trying to run from. And if it's emotionally like being avoidant, like your intuition's telling you about something so that you can have a breakthrough. Because like you're the only person who can pick and choose like when you go towards something. Like, the world is at your fingertips, but there's something that's keeping you held back or keeping you bound up or keeping you in a state of mind that it doesn't serve you any good anymore. So this mindset might be trying to come through the surface, and your intuition might be telling you something, but there's so many things that are being jumbled and mixed around and like put together that shouldn't be put there, and there's a lot of noise and chaos. But it's like you're right on the cusp of something where you have the ability to make the action, but you just have to get up and do it, or like you have to, like, which is unusual because Sagittariuses are usually action oriented people. So there's something that you're hesitating with for sure. And it's like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Do I say something? Do I not say something? And it's some type of a breakthrough. Like, intuitively, you know what this is. But there's also a sensation of just, like, keeping yourself so busy that you can't focus on this. I don't know if somebody, like, hurt your feelings or, like, made you feel, like, avoidant. Somebody triggered something in you. And it's like there's some type of hesitation, like maybe you feel like the carpet's been pulled out from underneath your feet, and maybe that's why you've been postponing something, because it's like maybe you have a fear that somebody's going to pull the carpet out from underneath your feet, like you're anticipating that that's what people do, but they're trying to tell you don't, because you have to break that cycle. And it's funny because I was just about to say, like, maybe you're overthinking something, and the thinking woman just came out. So you might be a person in feminine energy who is overthinking something right now. It's a lot of mental energy. Yeah, with the World card here, this is something that you need to wrap up. This is something that needs to come to an end. And I think it's very interesting how both of these cards right over top of each other have this moon shape, and this is actually the earth, but this is like an illuminated, like, it's not really a moon because it's like purple and blue, but it looks like the moon. And so you might be connecting with like a Pisces energy, Taurus energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. There's something about being in the lower mind, which even is kind of pointed more towards Gemini. My crown chakra is actually it's like activating. So like you might actually have like your crown opening up where you're feeling pressure in the top of your head, or you're feeling like weird sensations up there. I know it's kind of like a terrible way for me to put that, but it's just like weird sensations. I don't know how else to describe it. There's something, again, there's an energy that's around you that doesn't really have it doesn't really have your best interest in heart. Like, there's an energy that might be around you right now that's kind of out for their own. And I don't know if you might be surrounded by a lot of people who you feel that way. Like, you feel like no matter which way you turn, like, somebody's going to pull the carpet out from underneath your feet. Try and limit your exposure to those people. I know sometimes it's harder than what it seems, but just try to limit yourself when it comes to those types of people. You might even have trouble communicating with them, or like communicating, like I almost feel like I just had like a flash of when I was like a really small child, and like my parents were like, you know, having a disagreement, and I felt so small, and I felt like my throat just closed up because like I couldn't speak. It's kind of like that feeling where like maybe you're dealing with family stuff, and it's like maybe you feel like you can't trust people who are closest to you. But there's something that you need to wrap up when it comes to feeling like this or experiencing this. Like, they're pushing you to put an end to this. And it's like you recognize that you see it, but you're like, there's something that you're hesitating about because there's this postponement. But it's on your end where it's like you might just not be ready for something. Yeah, throat chakra. Look at that. That's crazy. So, yeah, this has to do with communication. Like, you have to break through with something and set your boundaries, be assertive. Like, this is having open communication. So if you feel like you can't communicate, it's an illusion. You can communicate. You can speak your mind. It's all an illusion. Yeah, so you have Healer of the Ages, and then you have the Envy card. So again, that's always a sign. Yeah, see, and Deceit on the bottom. That tells me there's there's people in your circle somehow. And I hate to say it, but it could even be the people closest to you. Where you're trying to do the right thing, and you're trying to heal, and you're trying to focus on yourself, and you're trying to do what it is that you're trying to do, but like the people around you are watching you, and they're not really embracing the changes that you're trying to make because they're still in an old cycle. And it's like a big, like, there's some type of karmic lesson when it comes to you recognizing that and being able to overcome that. So just be careful of like the people around you and stuff. Like, if people are making you feel defeated and stuck, like that's part of like a lesson and like karma that like you have to overcome and power through. Like, when you feel stuck and you feel like people are holding you back, like the key is to persevere no matter how difficult it might feel. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an illusion. It's not actually that difficult, and there's nothing that's actually holding you back. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is nothing in the world that is holding you back except for yourself and your perspective and your perception. So if you feel this, and I mean, like, I can only say that from experience because, like, I've had some pretty heavy karma with that myself, especially when I was a kid. And I felt so restricted, and it affected me on such a deep level. But I had to realize, like, through doing my own research, like in my birth chart, and like, you know, like doing research on my karma number and different aspects of, you know, esoteric knowledge, like I understood why I felt and experienced the things that I felt and experienced. Like, it all made perfect sense to me. So it was like a relief. Like, it was a relief for me because I was like, okay, I understand what my lesson is now. I understand how I can get out of it. And it is just to persevere. My lesson is to persevere. And that's just not my lesson. Like, the reason why I'm sharing this is because there are other people who experience this on a regular, consistent basis, and it's not always the clearest, and it's not always the most known thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of research and time that I've put into, you know, just really researching my own birth chart and stuff. And you'd be surprised at what you can find out when you get into that stuff and you dedicate some time to it, because it can actually be very, very useful, especially when it comes to like certain feelings of, you know, restriction and stuff, because in all actual reality, you're not restricted at all. You're not restricted one bit. It's an illusion, and it's meant to teach you some sort of lesson about A, perseverance, B, self-care and self-love, self-respect, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I really hope that that makes sense. But you also have people who are around you who are testing that. So there's also a lesson in boundaries as well, of like asserting boundaries and speaking up for yourself and standing up for yourself, Sagittarius. Like, it's time for you to stand up for yourself. And you know, set these boundaries with people, because you are on a healing path, and the fact that that people around you aren't really respecting it or supporting it, it's like, it's in your divine power to like stand in your power. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to stand up for yourself, essentially, is what that comes down to. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm sorry, Greg. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. It's just my cards. Yeah, so you might have felt like you missed an opportunity, or you felt like you were left out in the cold, feel like you're beat up, honestly. It's just like that feeling of like total exhaustion. Like, I don't know if you felt like you had to just like I literally am just seeing somebody like pack all their shit in their car and just leave, and just like they're just saying like fuck it, like they're just like packing all their shit up, and they're like, you know what, like I'm just gonna go over here and with all my stuff and stay over here. And it's like you might be thinking about moving or thinking about it in a way. Yeah, so you have the Nine of Swords. But see, this Nine of Swords talks about having the ability to figure out your own anxieties. Like, you have all the tools that are necessary for you to navigate it. And that's what comes to a full completion of recognizing where you are and stepping into your power and being like, you know what, I'm going to overcome this. Yeah, there's something that you've been holding on to. You might have even felt financially restricted, because there's that restriction card right over the throat chakra card. So financially you might have been restricted, and that might have been why you haven't been like vocalizing how you feel or standing up for yourself, because you haven't been in a financial situation to where like you can do that. But you're about to have a breakthrough when it comes to this energy, because it's like you're going to realize something. Because yeah, you have 44, so that's like the foundation, the beginnings of foundations. Becoming stable. It's like you're taking time out, and it's like you're reflecting, you're doing the healing work, especially with the Four of Swords over the Healer of Ages. Like, that tells me that you're doing profound healing work, whether you realize it or not. It could even happen when you're sleeping. Like, you're taking, like, you got to take this time out for yourself, because there's something that you've either A, been holding on to that's causing you anxiety and making you feel left out in the cold, but it's time to heal from that situation. It's time to release it. So you have the Three of Wands to the Seven of Swords. So it tells me that your ships are coming in. Like, they're already on their way. They're already coming in. The message is already coming in. The epiphany is already coming in. You're looking at it. You're waiting for it. There might be a little bit of like an energy of just being like, like this again. And it's like you're waking up out of something after a long time of like reflection. And there's also an emphasis on like staying optimistic in the process. So I hope that makes sense, because this is kind of like a cryptic, like they're getting very cryptic with me. it's like you're waking up to something, you're realizing something. Like, I don't know if maybe you felt left out because of like where other people are in their lives, and it kind of made you feel bad about where you are. But like the thing is that there's no right or wrong time frame for anybody. Like, I hear people all the time, like, especially like college kids and stuff, especially if they're older, like, they're like, oh, I should be done by now, I should have a family by now, I should have a house by now, I should be moved out by now. And it's like, no, like, there's no set time for anyone. Like, you have your own path, you have your own divine timing. Like, things will work for you in their own time. Like, there's a reason behind everything. And not everybody's on the same schedule. Not everybody is, up to society's par when it comes to functioning as a legal adult, is what people want to classify it. But, some people move out when they're 18, some people move out when they're 17, some people move out when they're 27. It's like, things happen, and there are, lessons involved, there are people involved, and there are reasons why certain things fall the way that they fall, and you can't be too hard on yourself because it's your life and it's your journey, and it's a beautiful one. I think that there's also a reflection of not being so hard on yourself and being like, you know what, like, I'm right where I need to be. Like, I don't need to be anywhere other than where I am right now. And that should be comforting to know, is let go of that anxiety, let go of that stress, because you don't need to carry it. You don't need to carry the stress. You don't need to carry the anxiety. It's time to let that wrap up. You're going to get, you might feel like you're on the losing end of a situation right now, but you're going to come right back up because the wheel's turning. And the wheel turning over the World card, that's a double completion. Like, that is a full completion. And you might feel it, too, energetically, and it might be triggering some anxiety because energetically you feel yourself stepping into a new chapter of your life. So maybe you had, like a 20-year cycle or 25-year cycle and 27-year cycle. I don't know. Like, maybe there's some type of, like, a lengthy cycle that you just went through. I see the number 29. It just really stood out to me. That also translates to 11. So, yeah, so there's a lot of things from your past that are coming up that you might need to balance. Like emotions, how you feel, your perspective, things that you could have been holding on to from the past are going to come back around. And it's meant to come to a closure. Like, it's giving you proper closure to something. Wow, so you have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords back to back that just came out. Like, wow. They came out together. That's interesting. This is either you balancing the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself, or this is you having a breakthrough and actually aligning with somebody who's actually meant to align with you. Because it's like you're looking at somebody, so somebody's in your life for a reason, but it's like there's some type of background, like, emotional turmoil that's going on. And it's actually causing a rift between you and this person because you have the Four of Swords underneath both of you. So it's taking the both of you some time out to heal from something. But see, your message, your ships are coming in with this King of Swords. So you could be connecting with somebody who's very logical, very grounded, very, like, militant based, of, like, just being very disciplined. This person is going through a lot in their life as well. Like, they've gone through a lot of different things that are actually probably very similar to the things that you've gone through. And you're just kind of like, it's like you don't know if you can trust it. But see, like, the thing is that you guys are totally 100% coming out like a match. Like, you guys are coming out as the King and the Queen of Swords. So you guys are very logical and very down to earth and very, like, no bullshit. So the both of you are, like, looking right at each other, and it's like your ships are here with this person. But you might just be taking some time out to, like, fully heal and reflect on this, because it's like there's a hesitation in, like, in going towards this person. You're like, I don't know if I want to communicate this. Ace of Cups. Look at that. Like, there's love here. There's unconditional love here. So if you're connecting with somebody who you've been connecting with for a prolonged period of time, like, you would have conversations with this person, like, almost every day. Like, you would be in constant contact. Maybe not constant contact, but regular contact, where you guys are, like, regularly seeing each other and dating or, like, going out and doing things. Like, no questions. And there's a hesitation on the feminine's end, where it's like, do I trust this person, do I not? But once you get out of that mentality of keeping yourself so busy that you don't pay attention to something, like once you step out of that and you step into reflecting and feeling and having that breakthrough emotionally, you're going to see it. Because your ships are here. But you just have to take some time out for yourself to heal. Because this person who's right in front of you is a match. And they have the Ace of Cups with them. And it's somebody who is very stable, reliable, and grounded. Especially with the Knight of Pentacles here. Like, this is the most reliable knight in the deck. Like, they may take a long time to come around or to develop, but they're very grounded. They're very, like, nurturing. They're very stable. Like, I know it's not the Knight of Cups, but it's like I always get like a nurturing vibe off of this Knight of Pentacles, because they're just a very slow moving but very stable and reliable person who, it's like they've gathered their things, but they've been through a lot. They're very intellectual and they're very smart, they're very witty. This person knows how to ground a situation, but they do it in a way that is very reliable and stable and slow. And it might not be what you're used to, because in the past maybe you've experienced people who are in and out all the time, and it's like this is a completely different avenue, but you guys are coming in as matches. Like, you guys are mirroring each other with the same type of energy. You guys are mirroring each other, you see? So with this Ace of Cups following behind it, it's like that's unconditional love. And then you have the Knight of Wands directly underneath it. So that's a lot of passion. That's passionate, fiery energy. But be careful of, like, I know I said earlier about being careful of, like, who's closest to you, but it's not connected to this masculine energy. It's not at all. Like, the masculine energy is somebody who, like, believe me when I say they know that, like, you could cut them out and, like, not talk to them. Like, they know that you could equally do that as much as they could do that to you. And I don't think that that person is doing that because they have the Ace of Cups here. And the Ace of Cups also signifies a lot of self-love, too. But this person is more or less, like, more or less bringing it with them. And there's something that they are trying to, like, show you. Like you might even see a lot of, like, your own self in this person, but they might reflect back to you, like, what you need to kind of help you get out of whatever you're feeling right now. It's like they mirror that back to you. And if you take an opportunity to sit and really think about it, you would be able to, like, you would immediately pinpoint, like, this person's teaching me something, or this person is showing me something. And there's something with, like, the feminine's anxiety that is clouding that thought process. So it's really important to take that time out for yourself so that you can reflect positively on this communication that you have with this person. Because it seems like you're ending a cycle with people who are from your past, and you've aligned, like, you've come into alignment with this person, but, like, you guys are both very cautious. And you guys are both very slow moving. But I feel like you guys actually mirror each other a lot more than you think. So I hope that these messages helped. Thank you guys so much for all of your support and all of your patience with me during this week, as I've been sick. I am feeling a lot better. So my energy is definitely a lot better than what it was. So thank you guys again. And good luck with everything. And I really hope that this helps. So take care.